Just one day after special town meeting adopted zoning changes to encourage housing development along Needham's commercial corridor under the MBTA Communities Law, a proposal for a multifamily building on Chestnut Street was presented at the Select Board meeting on Tuesday, October 22nd. Developer Needham Enterprises sought the board's support in filing a local initiative program or LIP application for the project. The LIP is a state housing program under Chapter 40B that allows developers to bypass certain local zoning regulations in exchange for including affordable units. Although the board ultimately endorsed the project, the decision was not unanimous. Municipal producer Yusha Wen has the report.
The proposal involves replacing the two-story commercial building at 339 Chestnut Street with a three-story building containing 6 rental units. Due to the land size constraints, constructing the proposed building would necessitate exceeding zoning limits, such as setbacks and floor area ratio, according to Needham Enterprises attorney George Genta Jr. Genta further explained even under the newly passed rezoning from special town meeting, which allows for greater height and density, the redevelopment would still not conform.
There is a question for the substandard lots. Again, this has 6,200 square feet of area versus a minimum of 10,000 square feet required, 40 feet of frontage versus 80 feet required. So because the lot doesn't meet the base requirements for the lot, under the constraints of our bylaw, it appears on the surface that you can't do anything other than keep the existing structure.
As Genta noted, the LIP not only gives municipalities flexibility in granting permits to housing projects that don't meet local zoning, but also provides the community with more control over future changes, such as rent increases.
As time goes on and as the market changes, as median income increases and rents get adjusted, the project comes in and asks for an increase in rent. Well, the town would have a say in that. Under a standard 40B project, the town would not have a say in that. It would just be the state, and basically it's just you meet the formula and you get the increase. But with a LIP project, the town can actually be more restrictive and ask for proof or justification.
Later in the meeting, Matt Borelli, owner of Needham Enterprises, added to this point, citing his project in Matfield.
The rent went up, I think, 5% from the state for affordables every year. And I'm happy when we went in for that, and they said, I said, I'm not looking to go 5% a year. I think that's too much for people. That's too much of a shock. And that you have to go before them, and it was, I think, 2% increase or whatever. So I'm happy to also work with the town on those rent increases.
The proposed building would include 5 two-bedroom units between 900 and 1,000 square feet and 1 one-bedroom unit of 600 square feet. 2 of the units would be designated as affordable for occupants earning no more than 80% of the area median income. Borelli also noted he expected the apartments to attract local workforce.
Size of the units, square footage, it's really going to hopefully be marketed to people who work at the hospital, work at McDonald's, in that area where they can just walk to their business.
Most Select Board members were supportive, describing it as a project aligned with the MBTA law's goals. However, Joshua Levy expressed frustration about not waiting to see if a proposal fully complied with the new zoning would arise. He referenced the propensity analysis, which indicates the parcel was one of the most likely candidates for redevelopment if combined with other lands.
I could understand doing it if, after a certain amount of time, we didn't see any development. We didn't see what we expected. We wanted to encourage more development, but we haven't even given it a shot. We haven't even given it allowed it to develop as we intended it to.
Borelli explains the challenges of acquiring multiple parcels in the area.
I did approach the abutter to discuss this. He is on board. That's if you're looking at this right to the right of it. Yeah. And he has no interest in selling his parcel for development. So, and the one over from that is Costa's, and that's just been condominiumized. So that's going to have multiple owners. So it would be very difficult also with the cost of, I think it would be an exorbitant amount of money with the cost of real estate in this area, and it wouldn't be practical.
Other board members acknowledged the gap between zoning intentions and reality.
This is another example of looking right, looking left, and coming to the same conclusion after discussion that it wasn't going to happen. So in the spirit of making, lemonade out of lemons, I think this is a benefit to the town to do this.
Once the project gains eligibility from the state, the application will proceed to the Zoning Board of Appeals for approval, which will include public hearings. For Needham Channel News, I'm Yu Xiaoyuan.